Welcome everyone to a new episode of Genuine Rockstars, and today's Genuine Rockstar is Anne-Claire Fabre. Thank you so much for joining us, Anne-Claire. How are you?
I'm very fine, thank you. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Could you tell us who you are and what you do?
So I'm currently the curator of the Museum of Natural History in Bern, and I'm also an assistant professor at the University of Bern. And I'm a biologist, and more specifically, an evolutionary morphofunctionalist.
Wow, a morphofunctionalist.
Oh, functional morphologist.
Wow, nice, thank you. So recently you published on primates who pick their noses.
Yes.
Could you tell us what you studied and what you discovered?
So that was a few years ago, so nearly 10 years ago now. And I was studying the evolution of primates in relation to their way of life in trees. And more specifically, so you know that most of the primates have this really great ability to use their hands, for example, for manipulating objects or tools. And I was trying to understand the fact that some animals are living in the tree and other ones are living on the ground can impact the ability of animals to grasp and manipulate objects. So I did end up filming a lot of species, and one of them was this AI. And that was during a trial where I was just recording the way that the animal was eating, or it was grasping its food. And at some point, so it's Kali, it's her name, so it's the name of the AI, she stopped. And she started to pick her nose. And by chance, I was recording that, and I was just, wow, what is happening? Because, you know that the AI have this really elongated middle and ring finger, and it was putting the middle finger, but entirely inside its nose.
That's worse than a COVID swab, right?
Oh yes, it's a deep one, really deep one. And so if you watch the video of me recording it at some point, you can see that the camera is moving or shaking a little bit at some point, and it's just that I was giggling. And it was just pretty impressive and funny at the same time to see that. But I was just, okay, what is happening? Did the brain really get out of it? And where the finger is going? And the thing is that they are doing it pretty often, because then when I was doing other type of research, because I was working with other collaborators on the locomotion of animals too, and I did end up seeing other AI doing it. So it was just by serendipity, by chance, I did end up recording this behavior. And then while I was talking with collaborators, we were just, okay, I think we can make a paper of that. And it was never recorded, and nobody was talking about it before. And nose picking and the fact of eating the snot, or what is called mucophagy, is something that is pretty common in humans.
Oh, it has a name. It's actually called
mucophagy.
Mucophagy.
The fact that you are eating your snot. Yeah.
Because I've also seen cows that they stick their tongue in their noses and then pull it back out. And I mean, this, I guess, is equivalent behavior.
Yeah. And it's something that I want to do now. It's a type of survey where researcher or just all the people that were looking at animals, if they have witnessed this type of behavior, because picking the nose with one finger, it depends on your anatomy. And if you have the finger that is thin enough to go in your nose, you can do it. But if you don't have a finger that is thin enough to do it, the other way is, as you were saying, to just stick your tongue inside your nose.
So for instance, if a T-Rex would have ever attempted this, they would never use their fingers, they would use their tongue.
Yeah.
Just to get that out of the way. Okay. So when I was a child, I was always told that I couldn't pick my nose. It was rude, and also it would do damage to my nose. Is this really true, or were my parents just embarrassed of me?
So I think most of the parents are embarrassed by their child in this way. Yes. Everybody is doing it, so let's be honest. And picking the nose, it's just something that most of the time you just need to clean one part. So as adults, we are just using a napkins to do it, or we are blowing our nose in other way. But yeah, I don't know, it's something that is just convenient to clean what you have inside your nose. And it's cultural, and it seems that it happened, or it appeared not so long ago. And there was some books that were telling how to behave in society. And yeah, it's not well seen at all to pick your nose and to eat your snot, obviously. But when you are kids, you are doing it, and that's it. Then it can be true that it's not good if you are doing it really often, because
yeah, you can probably damage your small blood vessels in your nose.
Yeah, exactly. And you have some people that are picking their nose really convulsively, and that are damaging their nasal cavity, and you end up with bad infection.
Yeah, okay, no. So the doctor says you can pick your nose, just don't do it all the time. Which advice do you have for our viewers who would also like to pursue a career in evolutionary biology?
The thing is that if you want to pursue a career in evolutionary biology, so first you need to study biology or geology, because you can still get a bridge to be an evolutionary biologist by doing geology. And then, so I think you need to be really curious and open-minded, and to do not be afraid to move, because we know that the job of a researcher is just not staying in one place and working alone. So it's really be open-minded, don't be afraid to move.
For an example, you're French and you're now in Switzerland. I'm Dutch, yeah. I'm in Sweden.
Yeah, for the years before, I was nearly doing 10 years of postdoc, and I was living in 6 different countries. So yeah, you need to move at some point.
So how do you like to spend the hours during which you're not studying functional morphology or sleeping?
I really like to go to hike, and Switzerland is really a great place for that. I really like to cook and to eat too. Otherwise, I really like to go to see my friends and to enjoy to have a drink with them. I love to travel. So, and since COVID, I haven't traveled a lot, but I'm going to Chicago next week, and I will be in French Guiana in 2 weeks. So I'm really looking forward to be in the rainforest.
There's a very nice museum in Chicago.
Yes, I'm going to the Field Museum, and I'm giving a seminar there. So,
well, there's a nice T-Rex there. You can include the suggestion that they would never pick their nose with their fingers.
I don't know what you mean.
Is there anything that I may have forgotten to ask, or is there anything you would like to add?
So that this type of research basically can be done while you are just looking for something else. So it's basically what we call serendipity. And I did end up getting the chance to do this paper on the evolution of nose picking. But then it's also a nice way to shed light on the II. And it's a primate that is not well known, and that is unfortunately currently highly endangered. So it can also help to have some people helping for conservation prospect for these animals. So I think it's the main thing that I want to add, because II are really gentle, even if they can be gross while they are picking their nose. It's, I think, my favorite primate.
Well, I mean, they're the equivalent of gross of a toddler.
Yeah, but is it really gross? That we have no idea. So, because basically what we were also showing in this paper is that it's a behavior that is totally understudied. And you mainly have 2 papers that were investigating if this is biologically relevant to pick your nose. And one of them was finding out that it might not be good because you are spreading bad bacteria such as staphylococcus, and you can get infection. And the other one was stating out that if you are eating your snot, you tend to have less cavities and better oral health. But the thing is that with only 2 studies, it's difficult to say if this behavior is good or not. Then, if there is other researchers that want to investigate more this behavior and to try to understand, for example, if we have variation in the composition of nasal mucus, what is the importance of the microbiome, what is happening when you are picking your nose, is it good for your immune system or so? So there is a lot of open question on that, and it's also science. So you see one behavior, then you start to ask questions to yourself, you start to dig into that, and you discover that nearly nobody was looking at it.
Yeah.
And maybe, who knows, it can be a behavior that is biologically relevant, that has a function. So far we don't know, but...
All right, Anne-Claire, thank you so much. You're a genuine rock star.
Thank you very much.